Last night, we all attended a new restaurant opening. Real lovely perk of hosting Driftwood's #2 most listened to morning radio show. Unfortunately for us, we are all suffering from upset stomachs, and we have heard that the restaurant has already been shut down by environmental health.
Good. Glad to hear it after the night I had.
Oh, boy. We are nothing if not professional, and even though we did have that second course of oysters, we are here. We will radio host.
The second course of oysters may have been a sort of self-own. You know what I mean? We may have sort of dug our own grave with that.
I think when you eat an oyster and all three of us looked at each other and were like, these seem, To then go for a second course was probably a bad idea.
Yeah. The first one, we did the thing where all of us like put our arms into, like we did the champagne
The
thing.
Around
thing.
the arms,
Yeah.
which is usually a two-person thing. It really adds a lot of just mass of arm when you make it a three-person one. It's a real difficult flexibility with that elbow to get it all the way around.
Truly thought I was going to have to dislocate my shoulder to get out of that one.
Not this
Real
time.
pretzel tie
this
of
time.
the arms.
People do expect it from us when we show up at restaurants at this point, because, you know, every time we're invited to
Everyone's
a restaurant
always looking over when they're going to do the arm thing that we got. And then we all look around, we know everyone's expecting a show.
Yeah.
So we got to step up for the public. It's what we do for you, good listeners.
We do it
of
for you.
Good Morning Driftwood.
We hope you're happy. Our toilets are not.
Indeed not. And so we got these oysters, partially because we want oysters, because oysters are nice.
Who doesn't like
But
oysters?
partially because we want to put on that show.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop when we leave here, folks.
No.
Being famous is hard.
Being famous on a small isle as well.
On a
Even
small
harder.
scale, on a small isle.
You know, it's like, I'm sure if you're, I don't know, Brad Pitt, there's areas of Los Angeles, California that you can just hide in. I'm sure there's areas that...
Or
Prison.
people will agree to like not bother you.
Yeah.
That same etiquette is not afforded to those on Driftwood Isle.
No. Sometimes, because obviously we're radio, we can get away with it a little bit if they don't know our face. But
That's
then
true.
that
true.
silky smooth voice comes out and, they're like,
Do you
"It's
guys have your public voice? Your fake voice that you use in public to try to fly under the radar?
Oh, you mean this voice, governor? I am but a humble child from England.
So inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Definitely not going to turn heads.
No
that
one
voice.
notices.
It sounds natural coming out of your face. It
They're
makes
like, oh,
sense.
that's just a tourist
Yeah.
from good old England.
Sometimes you just have to flip the switch when you're out and about. You know, if you're at the pharmacy and you're like, I'm just looking for motion sickness tablets, governor. Just those ones.
That's a
yeah,
governor.
yeah. Those ones. That was them getting the box off the shelf. Because there's something,
you saw their hand near the one that you wanted.
Yes,
The motion
yeah.
your
They were
particular
doing the thing, like,
preferred
this one, that
your
was-
preferred brand of
Preferred.
motion sickness tablets.
Yeah.
And you wanted yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, to
That
encourage
one.
them.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what you got to do sometimes, just to get through a pharmacy trip, especially something as embarrassing as motion sickness.
Yeah.
Mm.
You
That
know?
So
is-
maybe if you were like ordering a drink at a bar and you wanted a particular brand of, what's your drink?
Oh, if we were going for an old-fashioned.
So you want a particular brand of whatever's in an old fashioned, and their hand is drifting over the particular bottle that you want.
This one?
No.
This?
No.
Further, topper shelf?
Yeah.
There we go. That's the one she wants.
Yeah. The toppest of top shelves.
And you're just gonna slip right out of that establishment, and no one's gonna be the wiser.
No, people
that was
do-
Penelope MacGuffin.
Yeah.
That was just a really sprightly, enthusiastic
Child from
English
Victorian England.
English child,
All
the
the
Victorian
drink.
English child.
Yeah.
Do you have a fake name as well that you use if you need to like make a reservation or something?
Little Timmy Smithson.
Interesting that you've chosen. You know, I asked if you had an incognito voice. You seem to have an entire identity.
Yeah.
That is a different age, different region of the world
know-
that you're from, different gender. You're just really
Different
imbibing
time period in
this
history. They'll
different
never
time period.
know.
This does make
They'll never
sense
know.
because now everything is like coming together. I have seen you. Now I understand that's you trying to order a drink at a bar. I think it was maybe a few weeks ago. I thought it was two Victorian children in a trench coat. It was you in a big trench coat doing the movement as if there's a smaller child underneath you operating you. Your physicality was incredible.
Oh, I saw you at the bakery a couple weeks ago.
I asked for your autograph, Governor.
I had no idea that was you.
Yeah, you signed an autograph to little Timmy Smithson.
Yeah, it was a real kindly little fellow.
Yeah,
I had no idea that was you because you were ordering a croissant and they were going through over the croissants and like which croissant looks good to you, the pain au chocolat, this, that, and so they were leaning over here and you didn't seem to like that one. So so you said that, and then their hand went over here.
No,
didn't like that as well, and then their hand went further to the back of the box. And you still did. You were skeptical of the back of the box as well. And then they went over to the ones that had just come out of the. There you go. They had just come out of the oven. Little Timmy Smithson. Is that what you said?
Smithson. Yeah. Smithson. So the backs. Obviously, like if you're gonna embody a character, you really need to know the history of said character. You want to know where they're from, where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
What their
they did
personal,
just before.
Yeah, what their personal philosophy is. What do they like to eat for breakfast? You really want to make sure that you've all of those in
done
play.
Your work.
So obviously, little Timmy Smithson's dad was a blacksmith. See, surnames in those days were your job, and then the son part is because I'm his son of the blacksmith.
Ah. So do you know about blacksmithing as a result of...
Unfortunately, my daddy died in a horrible and tragic blacksmithing incident before he could teach me his ways. So I need to do other stuff now.
Is little Timmy an orphan boy?
Little Timmy's an orphan boy, but he made his money pickpocketing on the streets. But no more of that, no, sir. I'm going to go to regional college and get my administration degree.
As a child?
I'm going to be
little Timmy Smithson is a child.
I'm going to be a typist. Well, here's the thing. In Victorian
little
England...
Timmy Smithson also has a very 1990s outlook on what skills will be required for a professional life.
1990s?
Timmy
when they thought typing was like a career.
Yeah.
Right?
Little Timmy Smithson.
Computers are going to be big. Know how to type and you're going to have it made.
Little Timmy Smithson, what you have to remember is, whilst he is a little Victorian orphan boy,
yes,
he's living in modern Driftwood Isles. And also the age, like your lifespan as a young Victorian child was about 16, 17, so you could have fit it all in.
Ah, interesting.
There's no messing around.
So I guess the equivalent, you died so young in Victorian times that age 10 or whatever is the equivalent of like a university graduate in modern times.
I retire in 4 years.
I have a question.
You've really fleshed out and hammered down on a little Timmy Smithson here. I'm very impressed. Go on.
I have a little follow-up. So again, it is very clear from your physicality when you're doing it that it is two Victorian orphans, I'm guessing, on top of each other.
Upper and lower body really are
Do you have a backstory for the other child?
That's you confusing the rickets with... Yes. Obviously, as you'll know, Victorian England, there were a lot of
definitely
malnourishment.
Know what the rickets. I know what that is.
Yeah, it's just like, unfortunately, it's just a medical problem that does make movement.
It's like Victorian scurvy.
Well, I mean, I think scurvy was also Victorian scurvy.
Yeah, they just called it scurvy then.
Yeah. And those are
They didn't know it was Victorian scurvy.
Yeah, I think
they
it
were
was
just like, all these people got scurvy.
Yeah, and then as soon as they were like limes, and they were like, oh, here we go.
Limes. Solved.
Yeah.
Scurvy solved.
Obviously,
so little Timmy had a lot of health maladies as well.
Like
rickets and scurvy.
Oh no! Sorry, no scurvy.
No, that was my.
That was an add-on. Okay, right. I find that to be too weird for the character.
That's gonna throw off the perfectly calculated and believable character of little Timothy.
Everything is so specific and personal. All the details and
all the pieces of the puzzle are so perfectly put into place to create this mask of little Timmy Smithson.
Little Timmy Smithson's met the President of the United States of America.
This little orphan boy is meeting world leaders as well?
Which one?
Oh, Barack Obama.
Okay.
Good one. That's a good choice. That's a cool one. Little Timmy that's a really cool life for little Timmy.
Yeah. It's also,
was this recently or during his presidency?
This was recently. You know how Barack's doing his whole like books and podcasts thing.
He's just like a cool guy now.
On Barack and Bruce Springsteen's podcast?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Did he meet Bruce as well and just didn't care enough to mention?
Real nice guy. Apparently he plays electric guitar. I've never heard of
Little Timmy is not familiar with the music of Bruce Springsteen, apparently.
Apparently, I'd
makes
like
sense.
it because it's a lot about the working class, but the apparent loud
Different.
noises remind me of the blacksmithing factory.
Different working class than Victorian
Yeah.
England.
I would say as well, like the working classes these days versus the working classes of Victorian England.
Not relatable.
Very, very difficult to try and
Between the
make little Timmy sympathetic about the plights of, oh, you work in the factory and you're waiting for Friday to take your girlfriend out on your motorbike. Real difficult
That's
to get him
the
to buy
height
into
of
that.
luxury for little Timmy.
For little Timmy, he's just like...
What's his luxury?
Little Timmy's luxury is when he gets a second helping of breakfast.
Oh, probably likes gruel.
Loves it.
Probably a big gruel
How did you
fan.
know?
Oh, but little Timmy loves gruel.
It's got all the things you need. Oats,
Lime.
water.
Yep. Slippery, hard slippery. The different textures of gruel.
Sometimes sawdust.
Sometimes sawdust if you want a little
you're
extra
lucky.
heft to it. Oh, because that's a little extra.
Even though if you have the sawdust for too long, it will get you grumpy.
Is that so?
Yeah. Sawdust makes you grumpy. We all know this.
Ah.
It really backs up the intestines.
And that's the one that causes the grumpiness.
God, sometimes if you just can't do your daily movement, it makes you a little mad in the head.
Your daily move. I see. I thought sort of like your exercise routine. I thought little Timmy was referring to his exercise routine as his daily movement.
Oh, I just got it.
My exercise
Benches there.
is cleaning chimneys.
I
So
literally
he
just
still
got it.
cleans chimneys as well.
Oh, you want to do a side hustle, don't you?
What's your
He's got
main
a side
hustle?
typing. He's going to be a typist.
Typing. That's right.
That's
Gotta
his
do
career
typing.
trajectory.
But it's
side
not a
hustle.
current occupation.
Yeah, I guess.
You're doing chimney sweeping to
pay your
for
way
typing
through
school.
typing school.
That makes sense. That tracks.
And for all the things I want, like that croissant at that bakery,
Yeah, how could you afford that? It's French.
you'd be surprised how much people
French
pay
things
for
are
a
very
chimney swept.
There aren't a lot of people who have ricket riddled bones to
Ricket. Riddled bones.
That's how I was like about to pop and lock break dance over here. They don't have the malnourished rickety bone structure that you, Penny, don't have. So the fact that when embodying Timmy, you do have this entirely different physical makeup. Also, are you actually doing the job of the chimney sweep? Are you living the life of Timmy in tandem with the life of Penelope?
It's weird because I just think, like, would you ask Daniel Day-Lewis this? Of course, he's living the life of the character that he's playing
gets
and
paid
doing
for
the job.
that, though.
So this is not just to throw people off to you being to the fact that you're famous radio personality Penelope MacGuffin. You literally are taking on the second skin of Timmy Smithson.
I have been to many clown classes, many theatrical movement classes. I have spoken to some of the greatest theatre practitioners and also
Name
the
them.
guys who do
Name one.
the guys who do the prosthetics for The Walking Dead. I have
Can you just
spoken
name
to
one
all
theatre
of these
practitioner?
people. Oh, on the Isles.
Yeah, one of the famous
Yeah,
ones.
Sir Jacques Smith.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
trained with Sir Jacques Smith?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you.
Yeah,
Please
so
keep
like
going.
with all of the people that I have spoken to, obviously, I mean, I really have to give my thanks to them as well for help with the creation of the character.
Giving you the tools.
Yeah. We weren't just creating a character; we were creating a life. You know, that's what we were doing, and really, it was when the team, the prosthetics team, who have, you know, The Walking Dead, many other famous films and television shows on their books, it was really when they put me into the prosthetics after the 6 hours process that I really went, wow, we got it.
Timmy has prosthetics as well.
Yeah.
Do you do this every day when you embody Timmy?
Yeah, we're not gonna half-arse any of this,
Can
are
we
we?
just ask, can I ask Timmy a question? Is Timmy
Absolutely.
here
Is
with us?
Timmy here now?
Timmy's always here.
Timmy,
It's right under
You
the
just wouldn't
surface.
notice because he's such a little boy sweeping a chimney.
You just light up. Your entire face, your
It's
physicality
incredible.
changes every time you start that voice. Go on, Bench.
I just want to ask little Timmy if, and I hope this is not too much of a downer, but if heaven is real and you, when you die and you get to the pearly gates, what would you like God to say to you?
Just imagine you're up there. You're so excited to
It's
meet
just
your dad, your dead blacksmith dad who's
Well, this is
behind there.
before. This is before. This is just at the
Yeah,
pearly
no, but I
gates,
mean,
at the
like,
gates.
really, eager to get in there.
Yes,
and
you're
see,
about
what do you hope to hear?
I think I'd ask, is little Smokey here, my old dog?
So you don't care about your dad. Or
Oh.
want to hear. Again, the question
Also,
was,
that
what do you
feels like a
want to hear
waste
from
of
Well,
God?
question, because you're
Little-
going to find out anyway.
Yeah,
very
it's
soon.
true.
Little
It's true.
Smokey went missing one day. He ran off. He chased the butcher down the road. The butcher had some sausages hanging out of his apron, and little Smokey saw them, and he went running. And I never saw him again. So it would solve the mystery of where did he go?
Well, he's almost assured that. When was this? How long did they go to this happen?
3 weeks ago.
Oh,
he
God.
could be alive.
He could be alive.
out
I was
there.
going to say if it was years ago, it's
So-
probably dead. But no, this dog could be alive.
If you've seen Little Smokey, wait, is Little Smokey real?
Little Smokey's a real dog.
Sorry, I need to ask Penny. Can we talk
Penny,
to Penny
is
for a second?
Penny
Is Penny back?
Absolutely, yeah.
Is Little Smokey real?
Little Smokey's a dog, yeah.
Oh.
Real dog.
That's impressive.
So you had a dog that chased a butcher down a street, Penny?
I didn't have a dog that chased a butcher down the street. You're getting confused.
You're getting so
I am
Little
getting
Timmy-
very confused at keeping
Little
the
Timmy
lives
had a dog,
separate.
yeah.
So did the dog live at your Penelope's house?
No, of course
No.
not. He
Do
lives.
you maintain a separate residence for little Timmy?
Yeah.
I feel
Is
like
it some
Little
type
Timmy
of
would
hovel or
maintain
shed?
the residence.
Where does little Timmy live?
Little Timmy obviously lives in the orphanage with the other Victorian children.
So you kept a dog
The recent
at an
mutiny
orphanage?
No, the dog
Yeah,
would
Jeffrey
live.
Danvers orphanage?
The dog would live just outside the orphanage. Why would
Wait,
the dog
it's
live
on
in
a
the
boat.
dorms?
Were you part of the mutiny?
The orphanage is a boat. Did the dog live just on land near the boat?
The dog, yeah.
Because he's just a dog. As though that answers
No,
that
no,
question.
on the
Dogs
dock.
can live on boats.
Dock.
On the dock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. I think
Okay.
he's just a dog. He's like, all right, that is, dogs can live on boats just like
Yeah.
people can. So
But
they,
yeah, not when the rules of the orphanage are don't have dogs. You
It's
know, you
true.
can't
Those are the
just-
rules.
they're militantly anti-pet.
Mhm.
Yeah, they say it distracts them from their training. They're vague on what that means, but
Mhm.
so you did keep this dog alive, care for it only when you were embodying the life of little Timmy,
Mhm.
and then maintain a completely separate existence
I don't
as
want
Penny
to.
with your own penny pets.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
Excited for the next edition of the
Penny
our
Pets.
regular segment, Penny Pets.
Penny pets.
I don't want to. I don't want to be like clingy to a dog that's not my own. You know, I don't own
So
that
you've
dog. Timmy
totally
owns that dog.
disassociated this character. You feel no feelings of affection
No.
towards this dog whatsoever.
No, you know how.
But as Timmy, you feel intense feelings, so much so that he cares more about this dog than his dead dad or what God is going to say to him at the
Yeah.
gates.
Yeah. Okay. So what I would say is you know how when you have a cat, okay, and your cat maybe has a second life, it like wanders away, and it turns out the cat's hanging out with another family and being fed, and you only notice it because you're like, this cat's putting on a lot of weight. This cat's disappearing for long stretches
Sure.
and then coming back, and it appears to
Making
be
the
getting
rounds.
fed. Like coming back a little chunkier than it was before, but it's still eating all the food here. And then you start to think, I think this cat's got two families and it's just eating all the food in both. So
Okay.
then you start having to put a post up on like your local Facebook group saying, this is my cat. If this cat comes to you and is like eating your food, please stop feeding
Don't
this
feed
cat.
this cat.
You know, but it probably turns out it's some like kindly older person just giving like leftover chicken from their roast
Who's
dinner.
not on Facebook and
Yeah.
doesn't know this.
You don't imagine it's a full like other family kind of situation that they also like that the cat goes and like switches the collar and has a different name tag.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
not that.
Okay.
I'm-
How does this relate to Little Smokey the dog?
It makes sense.
Oh no, I just wanted to bring up that up as a. Isn't that weird?
Do you, Penny, have a cat that your kids sword with?
No, just isn't that weird?
It's just like, isn't it crazy the double lives of cats?
Cats, yeah. Like we can go along and just
Okay,
be like,
again, I asked you about
like-
Timmy's affection towards Little Smokey and how you, Penelope, don't have any affection towards Little Smokey.
I've never met Little Smokey.
And you choose to introduce the concept of cats' double lives.
I have never met Little Smokey.
Have you ever? Okay, here I have a question for you.
Never met. My God.
I have a question for you. Has it ever happened to you?
We are going to cut to a break at some point, but we
I'm
just
not-
really
we
need
can-
to
I
get to
feel
the
like we
bottom
need
of
to
this.
keep going.
The advertisers, I think, would understand.
We are apologists to our affiliates. We might be going long. Yeah, did it ever happen where you like suddenly would wake up and like find yourself like you, Penny, in like a Timmy situation.
Yeah, like a Jekyll and Hyde. You woke up and you didn't even realize.
The part of your brain that is Timmy or Penny, or the sun got switched at the wrong time. Did that ever happen to you?
No, absolutely not. Although once or twice I have found myself with like an apology note from little Timmy for what just like a slight burn to the forearm from blacksmithing gone wrong.
Communicates with you.
Yeah, so
just
little
occasionally.
Timmy is aware of Penny.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And aware that they do share the same body.
Well, we both are aware that we inhabit the same. I mean, what you got to remember is I really researched and spent a lot of time crafting little Timmy.
Yeah.
What little Timmy does now is
and then gave him birthed him.
Yeah.
And then what happened, what he does with all of the information is
very similar to Daniel Day-Lewis.
I don't think that's quite his process.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the main difference. He's retired.
Is that the only difference?
It's the biggest one that I can think of.
I think there are other differences in terms of artistic process and being a method actor. But being retired is the big thing for you.
I feel like that's
that he doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't do that anymore.
Okay, that's fair, I suppose.
Yeah.
One day,
but maybe. I don't think that Daniel Day-Lewis as his character is like leaves communication for when Daniel Day-Lewis becomes himself again.
We don't know that.
You'd have to ask his wife, maybe. Yeah. Maybe sometimes.
Or you know who you should ask if you can.
Like separate
President Abraham Lincoln. I bet he would know.
Why would he know?
Because he was Daniel Day-Lewis.
No, he would. Abraham Lincoln was just Abraham Lincoln. Daniel Day-Lewis portrayed Abraham Lincoln, but he didn't literally become the consciousness of Abraham Lincoln. It was a very good performance, I will admit that, but he didn't actually become Abraham Lincoln in the past.
Quite a long film.
It's very good.
Quite a long film.
Very good. No, I don't think
separate observation.
Separate observation.
For the record, I don't think he became Abraham Lincoln in the past. I think he became Abraham Lincoln now.
Abraham Lincoln as an individual doesn't exist. He's dead, long dead.
Abraham Lincoln was a real person. You do know that, right?
I am aware of that. Much time ago. Many years ago.
Much time ago.
Much time ago, Abraham Lincoln walked the earth.
Much time ago.
Abraham Lincoln walked the earth.
That's how that movie begins, right?
That's how it began.
Haven't seen it in a minute.
80 and much time ago.
And much time ago. In a galaxy far, far away.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
What were we talking about?
Oh, God, I don't even remember how we got on this.
I don't either.
Crazy.
I'll be entirely honest.
We need to either move on immediately or spend like 20 more minutes on this.
We need to. I think we should move on. Penny or little Timmy. I kind of want to hang out with little Timmy at some point.
Oh, you can.
And just pick his brain at a later date. Maybe we can do a feature. Maybe we can do a like an interview feature where we bring little Timmy into the studio.
You can, and you already have.
Oh my gosh!
From that day at the bakery.
That, again, staggering. I'll have to recount all of the details of that day in my mind just to figure out what my history with little Timmy is and maybe maintain a friendship with this young fellow. He sounds like a very upstanding, ambitious
You usually as well have such a good sort of mentorship relationship with the orphanship.
It's true. Little Jeffrey really looks up
with the orphanship.
Yes, indeed. Little Jeffrey really looks up to me. He says that a lot, and I really admire him as well in his own ways as a leader of men, well, of children, but, leader of men. And maybe little Timmy could join forces with little Jeffrey.
Yeah.
And we'll see what these two rapscallions can get up to out in this wild world.
I hope they don't form like a rivalry between them because they're such strong individuals.
They could be best friends. They could be nemesis.
Maybe both.
We'll see. Maybe
nemesis
both.
on the 7 seas.
Anyway, I think all of us have diarrhea right now.
Yeah, we should cut to a break, and then we're just gonna.
Oysters are making a return, and so
it's coming back up.
We'll see you in hopefully 2-3 minutes, maybe 5, 7. You know what? From the look of Dirk, maybe. You know what? We'll be back when we're back.